Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Stay a While podcast. I am your host, Ethan, and today I have a kind of continuation of the last topic I went over, which, if you remember, was dreams. However, one of my good friends by the name of Riggytwentytwo actually gave me a good idea, which in that video I mentioned that in lucid dreams, there's some weird rules that you have to follow. One of those were mirrors have weird properties in it. And today I just figured that I'd go a little bit more in depth as to what that really means. So to start off, to recap, a lucid dream is when you become aware within your mind that you are in a dream, and then you gain full control of said dream. And basically anything you think of basically anything you think of will happen in said dream, depending on how much. And you can learn to lucid dream as well. I couldn't tell you exactly how. That would be for a different tutorial. Now, to get to the main topic is, what do mirrors do in them? Why is it like a common rule of thumb of why you shouldn't look at a mirror in a lucid dream? So to begin, whenever you see a lucid mirror in a dream, it's obvious that mirrors are reflective. Of course, that's what their whole purpose is. But then that causes something very interesting within your mind. So your mind, the logic part of your mind will try to replicate real life physics and try to create a reflection of you, as that's what it knows. It knows that a mirror is supposed to create a reflection, and it does. However, this clashes with the, dream physics per se, which then, with these two forces clashing, it can cause some weird effects. The most normal one of these is that you'll wake up. You will fully wake up and, well, there's that. You're out of the lucid dream, and then I'm supposed that you could go back to bed, but that's probably the best outcome for that. The second thing that can happen is when you look in the mirror, what you see is not you, not at all. Many different things can happen when you do this, actually. It's either you're heavily distorted, you are nothing like you are, either your gender is different, you have different facial features, structures, different hair color, different eye color. Anything could be different when you observe a mirror. There can be somebody else entirely, which just simply is not you at the same time. And then there's also the chance that there's actually a whole new background compared to the one you have now. It's really weird. And actually, a common theory as to why this happens when you stare in a mirror within a lucid dream is that this is actually either how you perceive yourself, if it's a reflection of you. If you do not appear, that can mean some more dark tones, or if somebody entirely different appears. That one there doesn't really have quite an explanation, but if I had to give you one, it would either be someone that you want to be, or someone that you might know or that you might have seen from before. As well as the different background, that is completely enigmatic, because that kind of falls into the next part, because when that happens, the whole tone of the dream can kind of change, and actually anything can happen. As you can also see something actually quite terrifying in the mirror. Sometimes what looks back at you is some kind of monster or creature, and then, well, your lucid dream can quickly transition into a lucid nightmare. So what that means is that now you're basically in a nightmare, except you're aware of what's going on, and you can't really do anything to really stop that. Well, mostly because there actually is several cases where lucid dreams where you actually can control what you do in it to some extent. It depends kind of how aware you are within said dream. So, again, the whole reasoning behind why this is theorized to happen is because the brain has two different sides that are clashing to try and replicate what a mirror is supposed to do within a dream world, and then that just kind of completely breaks the structure of the dream, which then of course causes all that stuff I just mentioned to happen. Either you wake up, what you see in the reflection is not you, or it can quickly shift the tone of your dream. However, it doesn't always shift to be scary, actually. Going back to what I said before about it can completely change the dream. Depending on what the background is also often theorized to either be something that you've seen before or something that you want to be in, which can actually still make it positive, and then you're still in your lucid dream. It's just really interesting, and actually many people will look into the mirrors for fun, just as a kind of experiment to either see how you perceive yourself, just to see what comes up, to see where your lucid dream will go. Because that's kind of the whole point of people who, train themselves to be able to lucid dream. But now, I know this was a shorter episode, but I figured that this was an interesting thing to go over nonetheless. And again, I'd like to thank Riggytwentytwo for the idea. And I will see you in the next video, where I will hope that you'll stay a while.